2021 budget is a watershed moment for the government, the first budget after the COVID pandemic. It will be a balancing act as the government will have to walk the tightrope with escalating fiscal deficit on one side and stimulating growth on the other. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the chinks in the armor of the real estate industry, an industry which was already saddled with problems even before the COVID-19 crisis. The industry has been clamoring for government support even before the pandemic hit. As the construction services industry, to which the real estate industry is a major contributor, is the second largest employer of our country, the government hands holding of the industry during these challenging times is really essential. Some of the important tips that the budget can address are industry status. The government can consider granting industry status to the entire real estate industry and not just affordable housing, which could help to reduce the cost of borrowing for the reality players, allow them to tap new sources of funding, and help them to manage regulatory challenges in a better manner. REITs have emerged as an important source of funding for the industry as well as preferred investment for the investors. However, tax parity is needed when it comes to investments in REITs and in listed companies, specifically with regard to the time period considered for a long-term holding benefit. FDI. The government's FDI policy pertaining to real estate is one area that could be revised. It has been a long-standing request of the industry that the government to relook at the minimum built-up area and the land requirements. Mandating such large built-up area and land requirements is difficult. By reducing the project area and the land requirement, the sector will attract a lot more foreign capital. Nodal agency for incomplete projects. Our country is plagued with the problem of incomplete or abandoned real estate projects. This causes a lot of hardship to home buyers as they stand to lose their hard-earned savings. Creating a nodal agency along the lines of a regulator or supervisory body specifically for projects which have no progress for the last 24 months will go a long way to help the home buyers as well as the industry as a whole. To simplify the approval process needed for housing projects, the center could bring along a model set of regulations along with the lines of Model Tenancy Act and encourage states to adopt the model code, which could significantly streamline the approval process and bring about greater homogeneity on the pan-India level. The government should also mandate a greater role for NBCC in completing stalled projects. Having a nodal agency to work on ground could complete the construction work, and this will go a long way in solving the problem. GST. The government should consider allowing input tax credit on construction services contract. Alternatively, the government may consider reducing GST on construction services contracts and bring them at par with GST on apartments. This will help to reduce the cost of ownership for the home buyers. Progressive mindset. We have seen mindset of the government during the Atmanirbhar reforms as being progressive and are very optimistic on the reforms that will be placed before the Parliament on Feb 1.